So this one is about my childhood and how when I was like two, three, or whatever, when I first started to walk, my dad had visitation rights with us. I could barely reach the doorknob, but I was wondering what was going on from what I can remember. And I walked in the room, or I opened the door. Mainly, I didn't walk. I don't know what I did after that, but what I remember seeing is both of my brothers, along with my dad, in the bed with my sister, and my sister was being raped. So then I have other experiences with my dad that tell me that it just got really really bad, okay? And so I think that with me wanting to grow when I grew up, I didn't really grow up in the right mind frame as a person, which is why I'm out here asking for help and a GoFundMe and help if you can help me get money into my accounts because it's just been so challenging with Jesse Lee stealing every last little part of my love life and my data. He's gotten my phone number, my Gmail account, my Facebook, everything that's attached to that Gmail account because I needed that Gmail account to get inside of everything. And then he's just moved on my life in that way. And then it was to suggest that back in the day, like with me first coming to be aware about these things or like really trying to discover what's going on, because I didn't know. All I knew is that somebody else was with Cheryl, and I had the feeling that it was him. So every time I came around, trying to catch them or whatever, they were gone, and doors would be flapping in the wind and whatever. And granted, it's not. I'm like, it's said to me like, oh, it's my fault on my what my brother says is that it's my fault for being being willing to have sex before marriage in the first place. Well, what does that tell you about yourself, G? But he's just being so cold towards me, and the reason I wanted to bring this up is because when I was a kid, it was like all of a sudden I couldn't get any love from either one of my brothers, and then it was like the same type of pattern that I've been experiencing in the lately. As like everything just went zigzaggy. It was like as a kid, it was really bad and just felt through my body. And I think that this is what caused me to stutter growing up. And the reason I think that this had happened is because they were brought into the ways that my dad was. So they feared for their lives, or they feel feared for how they were themselves. And I know it's just really hard to wrap your mind around this concept, but I believe that I believe that I was poisoned up as a kid, and that's what caused me to stutter and not be able to get my words out or not be able to get my mind to my mouth, basically. And so nobody understood me, and I ended up just walking away. I kind of like humdrum, like whatever. No one's ever gonna understand me, so might as well just stop trying. Just what I did. I just stopped trying to get people to hear me. And then growing up, I witnessed that same feeling or that same thing. And I think that the whole reason that they're treating me the way that they are is simply because they don't want to confront their own demons with this one. And I'm talking about both of my brothers. So my oldest brother, for an example, just recently like made it seem like, in a text message, there's no give whatsoever as far as like allowing me to my own voice, just shutting me out and telling me that I'm crapping all over him or whatever. And it's like, have you even taken a look at the heart's work that I've been putting together? because no, the answer is no. And the answer is no because it's very apparent to me that they need me rather stuffed into that psychological way where it's just psychological manipulation, and it's to put me into the category of someone that's just crazy that doesn't know what he's talking about when I do. I do know what I'm talking about. And the further away that I can get away from the people that would consistently give me arsenic or give me whatever the fuck it is, cyanide or strychnine or whatever the fuck. It's just there's a combination effect that's taken a hold in my life. And then with that being said, it's just constant abuse. That's even coming up from people that claim that they've loved me, claimed that they've had my back, but they haven't. So I really need to put this out here because it's the fact that I grew up being a way that I didn't like. And I confronted it head on, and I did work myself that I considered working with my heart, doing the inner work and the channeling work to try and not be that way. And to really make it to where, like, them too could decide whether or not they wanted to see anything better coming up out of their little brother or not. And the answer is that they just don't. And they can't, they can never apologize basically for making me feel like crap. I mean, I feel that when my oldest brother was here last, it was like that was it. That's all there is. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry I wasn't there for you to stop these things, but no, I had mentioned things for many months, man. Many months. So how are you gonna play that role? I don't feel it's right, and I feel like the energies in the room were just all constricted upon me. And it's just meant for a reason. It's always the same reason. Just to stop me from doing this, going forward about something real in my life. And so I don't want to die. I don't deserve to die based on, like, I just wanted people to love me and to be vulnerable enough to fucking be able to be loved. Right. Not pushed under so fucking harsh. So, it's not an easy thing to do. And, just it's so much worse than this little clip of a video. But it's just the fashion, like, right now with my brother Kenny. It's like, you can't even pretend that that's not what happened with my hive-backed dollars, and you coming in, you're like, you're willing to help me to try and grow the income just to basically take it away from me. And, like, the blockchain never forgets, so I'm going to figure it out where there's been fraud. And not only that, but it's like it leads me to believe that because my so-called friend Jesse Lee had access to 24 plus years of my online personification by stealing it away from me with the intent of converting and covering up his own tracks about how his bitch ass is coveting my life. And I'm not just talking about my love life, man. I mean, as if that's not harsh enough, where people do take it to the extremes of killing themselves. But I don't deserve to die. I don't deserve to get killed, and I don't deserve to kill myself. And that's what this covetous movement about Heartworks is about. Are you willing to channel your own hearts to what you're capable of, or what you've been doing to people? And I'm just made to deal with the emotional drought and the emotional strain of it all. alone, not even having them to go to about it, because I go to them about it and it's like I just get the silent treatment, or I just get stonewalled, or however you want to say it. It's just, it's a mute point as far as where they're concerned because of their families and such. And I'm not gonna just stay silent any longer. I'm not. With how he moved on me from when I was 22, 23, and before then, and then all the way leading up until now. Like, people legitimately in the situations I'm in, oh gosh, they take it to extremes, man. So I'm not gonna have somebody tell me that I'm a danger to myself and others as if I'm not a normal human being, based on how my dad's been able to get away with raping, pillaging, and fucking up his whole entire family. Not to mention leaving my mom just distraught when I was younger. And then these guys can just move away from the fact as if it never happened. The fuck is wrong with you? Like, seriously, what the fuck is wrong with you? I'm actually sitting here writing and building a real mission about real stuff that has to deal with actually being able to, well, regardless of this stuff going on, I want to go out there and help people that are just bent over at the fucking waist down because they're on fucking drugs that they can't get off of. And mind you, that is not, some of it is not their choice, believe it or not. Some of it is actually being pushed onto them and they're just giving up. Much like I was as a kid. Like, I'm just gonna give up speaking and trying to speak out about stuff. Because no one understands me. But I have the right to come out here. And even if my opinion doesn't matter to people, or with what I have going on doesn't matter to people, I have the right to speak out. So it's just silly to me to think that, oh, I'm not doing actual really hardcore like lyrical stuff to like get through that taxing pain that would otherwise drive a man to madness. So I'm not going to tolerate it from either one of my brothers. I'm not going to tolerate it from anybody else. And I'm certainly not going to tolerate it from Tom Merton, my bitch ass dad, that could even think that he could get away with this. Good luck pulling the rug over God's eyes, you dumb dickhead. I mean, at like 15 years old, I was gonna fuck you up. I was gonna come to your fucking house and fuck your ass up. Which I wish I would have, being that I've had to live through nonstop verbal abuse, psychological abuse, just torment. Torment my whole life. And then learning that I don't even have my brothers to go to about if I'm being murdered in that way. Like, if someone's being murdered through poisoning, that's, you know, they got my data, they have every access to me. I don't even have that access to me itself. You see what I'm saying? So this stuff goes above people's pay grade when they're police officers, I guess, or whatever the fuck is the highest, tightest security in the world is to protect kids in cages, just like I said in my work with duress dissidents and deadly force. Not to mention, the Lord in my belly is telling me that I have every right to use direct force against these people that have been perpetrating a crime over me in that kind of way. To protect my life. I'm not going to just come out here and suggest it to people that, oh, like it's an easy thing to do. I'm just suggesting what you actually have the right to do. As far as the Supreme Courts are concerned, yes, you do. It's these kangaroo courts and all these other fucking bullshit courts where, I go into court and then all of a sudden the judge gets replaced by some old man specifically for the job. And I'm just looked at as a job that's like CIA grade, whatever the fuck. Like all these other whistleblowers coming out suggesting things are happening to them, and then they end up dead. I don't want to end up dead, and I don't want to be called into a person I'm not either, which is exactly what these people in the recent did to me. They needed me to either be suicidal, dead somehow by the poisoning, or pushed to the brink where I mess up her car or something and get it on, they get it on camera, and then they go, oh, see what he did. When meanwhile, my whole life since two has been non-stop abuse, non-fucking stop. So you're not gonna play about me as if I don't have the right to come out here and say and speak my mind, say these things. It's wrong how these people did me. And Dad, as far as I'm concerned, though my church growing up was right. And no matter how hard you try and suggest that I'm brainwashed or what have you, you're a fucking cold hearted piece of shit that could do this to his own family. And not to mention that you live with that lasciviousness because you moved how you moved. While I was still in the womb, you were off creating a different family. So you can't look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself that you're accurate in your heart. I don't care if you feel the Lord's forgiven you. But as far as where I'm concerned, and as far as where my sister was concerned, forgiveness was just so we could move on with our own lives. It had nothing to do with you at all. You have your own to face when it comes to the Lord. You have your own ways to face, and they are yours and yours alone, as far as the abuse is concerned, because that's fucking, it's beyond what anyone should ever have to bear. And I'm still bearing it. Where are you? Can you even give me $50 to help me out? Can you even find it in your heart to help me financially? No, probably not. And I know why. Because helping me out means that I can actually reach somebody out here as a lawyer or whatever to go after your fucking stink ass. But I reserve the right to go after your fucked up ass after what you've done to this family. After especially what you've done to my sister, being that she had a heart condition. How fucking dare you? How fucking dare you? Even call yourself a fucking man. And then as far as my brothers go, just leaving it all vacate and dismiss all of the time. Dismissing me, minimizing me. You're my own story. So good luck. I'm glad that you had help moving to your new fucking place. And I'm glad that your money's working out so fucking well for you. I'm glad that your love life seems to be to fucking jack off in the box, if you ask me. That's fucking just masturbate and chill shit. That's all the way God's gonna look at it, if you ask me, because you can't just go around hurting people like that and then leaving your own in that kind of distress. And if you do, you're a complete fuck off from jump anyway. Same way my brother could never even apologize to me for making me fucking feel bad. Just making me feel bad. But the fact of the matter there is, I deserve to have people in my life that I knew, that I would know, that I could come to about the shit that has happened to me in the recent. Not just, oh, I'm gonna vacate and dismiss too. I believe there's actual fiduciary duties there as far as being a broker is concerned, where I've been pushed. I've been so wholeheartedly pushed. So if it comes down to that fact and that fact alone with my own brother, I'm sorry, dickhead, but you wanted to treat me this way to remove me from self, just as bit as much as Jesse did. And if that's the case, then It's your ass too. Your ass is on the line and your ass is fucking grass, if you ask me.